Hi, it's Daphne. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to go through all my reading stats for 2021 because why not? I created this tracker that I've really been enjoying. So if you're interested in tracking your reading in 2022 or in whichever year you're watching this video, here's an inspiration tracker that you can base yours off of. So let's get started. So here is my 2021 reading tracker and stats. So on the left, I just have the numbers going down in order of when I read each book. Then I have the title, the author, the month I read it in its own column, and then the day of the month I read the book. I did that because I found it easier to filter by just the month name versus having to deal with the specific month, day, year. Then I have the days it took me to read the book. If it was more than 10 days, I coded it so that it turns the number red. Sorry if you can hear the sirens in the background. I'm just gonna keep pushing through. It's New York City. Then I listed if I completed it or DNF'd the book. So a 1 means it was completed and a 0 means I DNF'd the book. Next I have star ratings, which are obvious, genre, subgenre. I created subgenre because I do read mostly romance and I wanted to see more specifically what kind of romances I was reading within that. Then I listed whether the book was a standalone or part of a series, so I can list the series name here as well as which number in the series it is. I have the format listed, so if it's physical, an ebook, and then where I sourced the book, if I own it, if I got it from the library, if I got it off Kindle Unlimited, and then any other details I might want to add. So sometimes I like to note if it's a book of the month book, if I got it recommended from someone online or a friend or family member recommended it to me. I also have the page numbers listed, which is not a perfect science because Goodreads can be a little inaccurate sometimes if it includes the acknowledgements at the end, but this just gives me a rough estimate of how many pages I've read. And then if I reread the book, the author's gender, which typically is female for me, and then the author's race. I wanted to know the author's race because historically I have read more white authors and I wanted to read more diversely, so I add that as an aspect to track. It's still something I need to improve, but now I can see it plain as day and it's informative. And then I also just have my thoughts here, which are pretty much just the reviews I put on Goodreads. I'll just copy and paste them over here so I can have them more easily accessible in this format. Then I have the DNF count here. This is a manual number. It's not coded or anything. I should code that, but I haven't. And then I have the average days it takes me to read the book, which is about 7 to 8 days, but that's a little skewed because I have some outliers in red like I showed you. Typically, more often than not, I feel like it doesn't take me 7 days to read a book. And then the total books I read this year was 76 books, which is amazing. I think last year I read 40 something books, so this is well improved. And I made my Goodreads goal for 2022 60 books, I believe. Make it a challenge, but not too intimidating. So I'm not enjoying my reads. You know, I want to have a big goal, but not feel anxious about reading a certain amount, you know? And then I have my average rating here, which is 3.55. And then moving along on the top row here, my average page count per book is about 378 pages, which is kind of more than I would have thought. That's a lot. And then the total pages approximately is 27,000 pages read in 2021. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Then I just created this tab. Now that I have all the data, it was very exciting for me to create this. So yeah, here are all the books that I read each month. In January, I read 3, February 3, March 3, April 5, May 3, June 5, July 10, I went off, and then August 8, September 10, October 8, November 9, December 9. I think in July, that's when I got access to the Libby app and I was using my library to read digitally, and then I got my Kindle soon after, so I just had way more access to books more easily. I didn't have to own them. I didn't have to physically go to the library and then physically have it at the time. I was just taking things out digitally, and it really increased my reading number each month. So I would recommend that if you want to read more. I'll have the Libby app linked down below. It's just like the link to the App Store or the Google Play Store. I am not associated with them. I just think it's a really, really useful app if you want to read from your library digitally. And I want more people to use it because I want people to read more and enjoy reading. So yes, I'm not affiliated. I get no commission or nothing. I'm just recommending it as your friend. Then I have the genres I read. Classics, I read 1, contemporary I read 2, fantasy I read 4, historical I read 2, mystery I read 1, nonfiction 1, romance 57, sci-fi 2, straight smut 5, so I didn't count that as like romance, it was just straight smut, and then thriller I read 1. So here is the chart for that, broken down in a pie chart with the percentages. So romance takes up 75% of my reading, and then 25% is everything else. So if that tells you anything about me, now you know. Then I wanted to break down the subgenres of romance a bit further. So it looks like I read mostly fantasy this year at about 30%. Shortly behind that is historical at 28%, contemporary about 25%, paranormal and sci-fi are a combined about 17%. Yeah, I read 9 sci-fi books, which take up that 16%, and those were all exclusively Ice Planet Barbarian books. Then I wanted to see how I was doing with star ratings. So like I said before, my average star rating was 3.55, which is kind of low maybe. I don't know. I think it's okay. Yikes. Okay, well this is why it's low. So the most I rated was 3 stars. With 31 books, I rated 3 stars. And then I rated 26 books 4 stars, 10 books 5 stars. So this is what the percentages look like. 41% of my ratings were 3 stars, 34% were 4 stars, and then you can see the rest of the percentages here, which are significantly lower. Those are all my stats that I cared to analyze this year. Let me know if there are any other stats that you think would be interesting to track going into 2022. Feel free to copy mine. I do not care. Just, you know, give me some credit if you want. That'd be nice. And I'm gonna end this video here. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll catch you in another video. Bye.